Now, a few days ago, you might have seen me. I was at work. It was about 102 degrees, 72% humidity. I was nasty, skanky looking, but I had to stop, make a video about this chainsaw. What is that? Why has one of the muffler bolts backed out of this thing already? Now, when I picked up this chainsaw to work on it, I didn't realize that the customer had brought 3 other pieces of equipment, which 2 of included these 2 right here. And guess what issues they have? Yeah, we need to talk about it. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back into Chickanic. I hope everybody's having a great week. If you are a commercial user or a heavy duty homeowner, when it comes to these machines, do not go anywhere because you're gonna wanna know this. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of saving time, money, and frustration while fixing your own small engine equipment while watching in-depth tutorials, you've come to the right place because that's what I do. I upload a couple times a week, and if that sounds interesting, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell, and please leave a comment. I love to read through the comments, and I'll reply to all the early commenters. Alright guys, now even though I'm doing this demonstration with the steel units, it's just because my customer brought them in and that's what he has. But if you have Echo units or Husqvarna, they have the same exact issues that the steels do. First, we're going to talk chainsaws. There is a huge difference in commercial chainsaws compared to heavy-duty homeowner chainsaws that you might not know about. And it has to do with the exhaust. Can you tell the difference of these two? Well, one's held on with 2 bolts and one is held on with 4. Now you might ask, well, why aren't they putting 4 bolts in the smaller chainsaws? Well, that's because these are made out of metal magnesium cases and these have plastic cases. When it comes to being able to bolt into them, you can't bolt into this plastic case with the muffler and expect it to do anything. It's going to transfer heat, melt, whatever, I don't know, but it ain't going to work. On the big saws though, they go straight into the case. That way you have that extra support so it doesn't rattle loose. Now this was a freak incident. I had not seen one like that before with a saw being so brand new where one screw completely backed out and the other was still tight. Now when designing these chainsaws, one of the biggest issues that these manufacturers have is vibration. And even though steel was one of the first manufacturers to have an anti-vibration system put into their chainsaws, with all these buffers and mounts, it still doesn't take care of all the vibration you're going to get. So these mufflers, the way they have it, especially on the commercial saws, they have them with the extra secure points down here at the bottom. If you have a Husqvarna, which I don't have a large one here right now, they have their 2 bolts on the top, 2 bolts holding them in the center to the cylinder, and then they'll have like a bracket that actually comes up from the side here and goes over the bottom 2 bolts, and to give it on top of, just the extra bolts on the bottom, a whole nother bracket holding it in place. Echo doesn't do that. They're pretty much like the steel. Let me show you. Ooh, this is my 590, and even though you can see here, to remove the entire exhaust, you've got 1 bolt right here that will take off this little cover, and then you've got 2 bolts behind that holding the exhaust to the cylinder. But on the bottom here, you've got 2 more bolts holding it in place. That's because, fortunately, the Echo has a magnesium case. Pretty good. Now, the bad part about it is when we get into looking at where these are mounted, there's odds and probabilities that these machines are screwed, that I'll never be able to keep a muffler tight on them ever again. So first, let's check this chainsaw. So after I realized there was this issue with all these exhaust bolts coming loose and falling out, I got a hold of my friends at Steel to find out, is there anything in the owner's manual that says after so many hours you should check your muffler bolts, tighten them, replace, anything like that, especially for commercial users? And the answer was no, which was sort of shocking to me. I think there should be something in there about it. And although they did say it was sort of odd that one backed out of the 362 like that, they said the problem with the homeowner models or the heavy-duty homeowner models is that when they start to loosen up at all, if you don't stop and tighten them up immediately, you can destroy your chainsaw. So we're fixing to take the bolts out and look behind and see if it's destroyed, because this perfectly running saw could be completely worthless now just because of the exhaust. Now, before I continue, I know you think you know where we're going with this, and you might, but a lot of you don't. A lot of you might think that I'm looking at the threads, and if they're all boogered up, then the saw is just screwed because, you know, you can't put any screws back into the cylinder. No, that's not it. We could possibly re-tap it and use a different size screw. That's not detrimental. Or you might be thinking it's the muffler itself, that the back holes that mount to the cylinder are all wallered out, and so it's never going to sit right again. It's just going to keep coming loose. No, that's not it either. I could just buy a muffler and fix it that way. It's something completely different. So let me see if I can get you in here. Sort of hard with the glare of the flashlight, but you can see the outsides of those holes. Normally you would see them all wallered out right on the very outside, and you know, the farther it goes down, the worse it gets, but it actually still has really great threads. The metal muffler mounting gasket, you can't really tell. This hole right here is slightly oblong towards this way. This one is a little bit towards the center there. It was rattling around just a little bit, but not detrimental. The exhaust, the holes still look round, maybe a little wallered out. I can see a little thread grinding action on the inside of those, but not too bad. But what else do we see here? What is this line here and this line here? Well, that's where it mounts up to the saw right here. And there's a little spot right down there. Now, what are those for? So when we put the muffler gasket back on, you can see there's a hole right here where the cylinder comes through, and it doesn't cover up this bottom one right here. So this is the design still came up to make it super sturdy for homeowners. And mind you, this is a commercial user using this chainsaw for many, many hours before he had this issue. You're not going to have this issue if you catch it as soon as you hear your exhaust start to rattle, or just pre-check it every once in a while. Make sure that it's tight. But as soon as you hear any weird sounds, especially like that last video with the screw inside or this muffler rattling, you've got to stop and make sure to repair it, because the exhaust pushes up against the cylinder on the top and the bottom. So as the screws are threading into the cylinder, it's pulling this center section towards the cylinder as it's pushing these, and it's putting tension on the screw threads so it doesn't come out. Now, if you notice that yours is starting to come loose, all you need to do is get some brand new locking bolts, and you can use a little bit of thread lock and you're good to go. But if you keep running it, and you don't have to run it that long, vibration is a killer. Let me tell you, as it starts vibrating, it is nonstop hitting that metal, hitting the top and the bottom there, wearing it down to where it won't matter if you try to use this one or buy a new one, everything's wankered out. You don't have that spacing correctly to do the compression on here, and it's just going to keep coming loose no matter, you know, what you do with thread lock and new bolts. Now, that doesn't mean I ain't gonna try it, okay? I am definitely getting those locking bolts. I'm going to put some thread locker on here, throw it all back together, and we're gonna see how long it lasts. I'll let you know. Now let's get to this blower, and I'm glad that I know that now, because for years I've had issues with that with chainsaws that I've reinstalled the exhaust over and over and over again. I even bought brand new ones and could not figure out what was going on. You know, I'm not a steel dealer and I don't know everything. Hopefully, since we do now, it'll save you some time, money, and frustration in the future. Let's get on this blower. Now to see what's going on here, I gotta remove all this. Something I do want you to pay attention to: when I pulled this out, the flywheel magnet caught it. These little bushings that go inside here for the rewind like to just fall out over time. I think, you know, still needs to figure that out, why these can't stay in there. But yeah, you have to have these little bushings because it puts the correct depth away from your flywheel and your screw holes here, so it'll turn freely. But I'm just gonna hold all of those on the side. Like, I go through so many of those that people don't even know that they're falling out, that I keep 10 in stock all the time because it's such a big issue. Okay, this is like really, really bad. Really bad. This thing is just, I think I could pull it off without even taking the bolts out, maybe. Oh, I can. There's still part of it in there. Oh, Lord. Yeah, there's just a mess. Oh, shoes. Wow. Yeah, he's been riding that thing till it died. He definitely heard something rattling, I'm gonna say. You know what though? Fortunately, he got so lucky. Check it out. His bolt is gonna be able to come out. This bolt is still in there. That bolt's still in there. So none of his bolts broke off in the cylinder. Woo! Yeah, that would have been detrimental. Because usually that's what happens. Now, this is a very common problem for the commercial users when it comes to the BR800s. You know, they're just so powerful. It's the same way with the huge Husqvarnas and the big PB8, 9010s. When you have that much power and that much vibration, it is really hard to deal with this exhaust situation. So I actually think I have a BR800 out in my pile. I'm going to look tomorrow because it is actually like 9 o'clock at night. It is so hot during the day. Today, once again, it was 100 and something degrees, 70 something percent humidity. I'm melting, so I can't film and look like a swamp rat every video I make right now. So here I am filming at night. I will go out there tomorrow and see if I got exhaust for them. I know this thing looks scary, but it actually does run just like the chainsaw does. I'm going to get some new bolts in, get them all fixed up. Like I said, this could happen on any piece of equipment you have if you use it heavy duty or you're a commercial user. So make sure to always check it. I think Stihl should put it in their owner's manual to check your exhaust bolts after so many hours. Just to make, people aware that can be an issue, because I have seen it quite often, all the manufacturers. I say Stihl just because I'm working on that, but it's definitely an issue. So guys, didn't fix anything today, but I thought I'd bring you along anyways. Hopefully, now that you know, this video will save you some time, money, and frustration in the future. If you find yourself coming back over and over again, think about hitting that subscribe button. And if you ain't tired of me yet, check this video out right here.